Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over another one of the Pokemon that was kind of buffed in this most recent patch, and it's going to be Hakamo-o. Now, while he didn't get a buff directly, he got an indirect buff through Brick Break, and so it's kind of going to work like the old Scrafty team worked, where you want your finisher to be Hakamo-o, and you want to go into a final matchup against one Mon and then just Brick Break it until it has basically no defense left, and then just get through that in even shield scenarios. The team I'm going to be running today is going to be Dewgong in the lead with, again, Hakamo-o as the finisher, and then Shadow Alolan Marowak possibly as the safe switch. Sometimes I'm safe switching either one, and again, Shadow Alolan Marowak can be the finisher if I need it to be. It also got a slight buff with the damage increase to Shadow Bone. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the video. But first, if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. Let you know when the next video is out, and trying all the new Mon out. So definitely going to want to check it out. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video. Alright, so Charjabug obviously is an awful lead, but either of our Pokemon in the back can handle it. They do end up catching here on the Jellicent. I did check out this matchup individually, Jellicent versus Hakamo-o. It's not as bad as you would think, especially if they're not running the Hex, which this one is running Bubble. Just go straight Dragon Claw. No need to try to lower the defense. You're just going to outpace it to a lot of moves here. You are going to want to shield once. The Shadow Ball does do a lot. One thing to really keep in mind when running Hakamo-o, though, is that I needed to CMP there, so they went through a move. But it's actually really bulky. I think mine is level 38, maybe 38 and a half. I'm not too sure. And I don't even think I have a very good one, just one that I so happen to have. But I think it is around right now. It is out just day to day. I mean, I don't grind too much, so I don't see any around me, but I know that it is in the wild right now. All right, so we ended up winning the middle matchup in even shield scenario versus the Jellicent. We did have a huge energy advantage. Now we come into this Charjabug matchup. We don't care if we get taken out here. It's one thing to note is you do resist everything from the Charjabug, so it actually is a pretty good matchup. And then they're going to switch out into Poliwrath here. Actually quite bad for both the Mon that are left on our team, and pretty good against our team generally. While it doesn't affect the Alolan Marowak here with its fast attacks, the Scald is super effective and can do a lot. I am just going to try to finish it off. It's obviously pretty low, so I go for the Bone Club. One thing to really note again with the Alolan Marowak is that its Bone Club is actually quite a bad move, so I wouldn't really use Bone Club unless it's double super effective or they're really low and you just need to take it out. Anyways, the reason I switched here was because they were going to outpace us, and they don't really have a good charge attack against Dewgong, so it's kind of like they're quite opposite, the Marowak and the Dewgong, in relation to the Poliwrath. One can take the fast attacks, one can take the charge attacks. All right, so we end up switching in a Hakamo-o against the Umbreon. This is a fantastic matchup. This is one where you definitely want to be throwing the Brick Breaks. You're going to be lowering the defense. You're going to be doing the damage. If at the end you need to throw a Dragon Claw just to make sure you don't get taken out, because it is also super tanky and it's going to get to many moves, you can also do that as well. So the next Brick Break and possibly the Dragon Claws look like they should be able to take out. Oh, I'm going to go for the Dragon Claw here just to end up having a lot of energy going into this last matchup, or into its last matchup. And I'm just hoping to get a Dragon Claw off. No need to go for Brick Break either, because they already hard swapped out of the lead. They're going to hard swap out again. We don't get to it, but yeah. I decide to stand here for a little bit, and I think, if I remember right, so if I remember this game right, I think I try to catch on Alolan Marowak. While Alolan Marowak's really bad against Azumarill, it is resisting Ice Beam and Play Rough. So I'm here catching on 6, which is how many bubbles it takes for it to get to the Play Rough. And if I get to the Shadow Bones, it's still going to do quite a lot of damage, chance for the defense drop. We go for CMP here. It's 5 to the second Play Rough for Azumarill. I'm sure everyone knows that, though. There's been so many seasons of Azumarill, and it is on its way back up since the bubble buff from last season. I decided to let it go. I'm going to save my shields for Dewgong. I tried to get to a Bone Club just to do some sort of damage, but I already know I can outpace this as I was in the Azumarill matchup and making sure that I got a little bit of energy just to continue to outpace this Dewgong, or this Dragonair. So I'm probably going to shield this even though it's debuffed. I'm close to another move. Azumarill gets to its move slowly. They don't have any energy on Azumarill. I actually get to... I probably shield this, yeah, and then just get to the one move on Azumarill. I think Azumarill is pretty low, so a drill run will take it out. Oh, 2 drill runs, but I did have a huge energy advantage, and again, they were out of energy. Frostlass is a little tough. You would obviously want Alolan Marowak on it. You do have to be scared of why do I keep saying... Oh, I was going to say Shadow Ball. You have to be scared of the Shadow Balls on Alolan Marowak. But, yeah, I'm just going to stay in this matchup. At least we're double resisting these Powder Snows. I'm probably going to go for a no shield here in this matchup. If they throw the Shadow Ball, we're going to get KO'd, but at least we're going to have a Alolan Marowak on this. They end up throwing a bait. Even better. We double resist Avalanche. Not a great thing to bait when it's double resisted, but they probably thought we wanted to save this matchup. They're probably going to go for another Avalanche here as it's going to take us out and it's going to save them energy. All right, we come with a Alolan Marowak. They are low on energy, they're low on energy after throwing 3 moves, so they come in Umbreon. I decide to come in with Hakamo-o because Umbreon's obviously going to be scared, and then hopefully the thing in the back is not going to be good against it, considering the thing in the front was already very good against it. And we're right, it is Whiscash. These Mud Bombs don't really do a ton, but obviously they don't want to throw the Scald as it's resisted unless they're really fishing for that debuff. And all I'm trying to do is get back into the Umbreon matchup. I don't really have to shield this. I guess it does do more damage than the Last Resort would do, but it's possible that the Umbreon also has Psychic, so I'm not too sure I needed to shield that move, but you know what, we have multiple shields. I'm going to get to Brick Break, and I probably will shield this. Yeah, because if they go for Last Resort, oh, it is a Psychic, yeah, so now I'm really, okay, but we pace the same. So this has to be a foul play, which is not good for them because it is resisted, and again, we're super bulky, so an interesting play. I think they just wanted to get it in before we did our Brick Break, and maybe they were hoping it would KO, but obviously it wouldn't. And then we outpaced the Dragon Claws, so that's GG. Again, what we were trying to do, it looks like opponent left. What we were trying to do is basically just lower the defense and then hopefully Alolan Marowak will have a chance. Look at that, we want to lead. But weird swap for us. I decided to stay in for a little bit, hoping that, I actually was really hoping they would throw their energy, but they played this pretty smart. They didn't throw their energy until way later. I really didn't know what to come in with. Alolan Marowak is probably what I should be coming in with. Yeah, I might switch right away after this. Yeah, Alolan Marowak makes sense. Drill Run is going to do a lot of damage as it's super effective, but it's not going to KO us, and we do resist the Ice Shards. So, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Bone Club right away. We're not messing around here. Maybe a Bone Club. Did I say Bone Club? Shadow Bone. Maybe a Bone Club would have... No, it wouldn't have KO'd. Okay. Just going to go for a Shadow Bone again. No reason to go for the Bone Club. It does literally nothing to this Gligar. And Shadow Bone will do a pretty good amount. And it could lower the defense too. Now, if I'm not going to make it to a move, I might as well throw a Bone Club. But yeah, they end up throwing here. Oh, this is probably a dig. Aerial Ace. Oh, wow. We're actually way squishier than I thought. Aerial Ace with a little bit of extra energy. Pretty good play here. This could be a dig, but it is a non-shadow. So, you know... I'm just gonna take it. And then they come in with, I saw in the top right hand corner that it was a normal type. I saw Lick come through. I'm just gonna lower the Lick damage. I want to get to an Icy Wind actually before I come out, and since I lowered the damage, now's the best time to do that. So gonna allow this to hit us. We're gonna just Brick Break through this, and we should be pretty good. It is lowered attack, so we're not really scared of anything here. And the one thing we do need to be careful of is the shields on our opponent's team and our HP on our team. So Dewgong is going to get one move off before it gets KO'd. So one shield is already down. We need to hit 3 moves that can KO the Gligar. So I'm going to shield this, and then hopefully get to Dragon Claws against the Gligar. And it's actually lower than I thought. I think one or 2 more Dragon Tails will KO. Yeah, 2 more. And we have the move still on Dewgong, but I can't really switch because they might get the lick through and that might be enough to KO. That's definitely something you should think about during the games. All right, Jellicent in the lead. Again, this is a pretty tough matchup. You definitely don't want this on Alolan Marowak. It's kind of okay against the Hakamo-o, but they played the smart too. They didn't go for the move right away. They're just building up energy, which is bad for us. We want them to play as bad as possible. But this matchup's pretty neutral. Obviously, Shadow Ball is a much better move than Drill Run. One of the best moves as far as damage per energy in the game. But we're going to get it low. They end up switching to normal type, so I switch in Hakamo-o. I guess something like Vigoroth would be pretty tough for our team generally. Also, if you sub in Hakamo-o and there is a Charmer in the back, like you have to safe swap, and there's a Charmer in the back, that's going to be really bad. Charmer in the lead's okay. You'll just sack Dewgong for it. And then if they safe swap a Charmer, obviously Alolan Marowak's very good against it. Now, I will say Wigglytuff would be really tough for this team, I think, generally, especially if they go for the 2 shield on it in the lead, because Shadow Bone is going to be double resisted by the normal typing of Wigglytuff, which can be just awful. All right, we get 2 Dragon Claws off here. It's decent damage, but obviously now we have the lead. The only thing is we do know what the lead is, so not sure about this one. It is low. We do have a shield. I figured they're going to go for the Surf right away, try to get the shield. I mean, we have to make a call at this point. We are pretty far down. We're going to win CMP here, so they probably shield, which actually is decent for us. We'll get 2 Fire Spins off, hopefully. They won't make it to a third move here, so we just want to get as much energy as possible to throw the Shadow Bone into this Gligar, which should be enough, and luckily we're on a 4 cycle since we've already thrown some moves off already on Alolan Marowak. Nice. This was a tough game, but yeah, we won this one. Talonflame in the lead. This is pretty neutral. You do want to be in here rather than Hakamo-o, although with shields, it's okay. Opponent here on a little bit bad timing. It's a little bit bad because Incinerate is awkward. So it's like, do I throw on 3 or do I risk going for 4? And then if I end up throwing under 4, then they have to throw a 5th. Yeah, it can be really awkward to really position the Incinerates well against 3-turn moves. That it just is what it is. All right, I'm going to go for 3. So against the 3-turn versus a 5-turn move, and you're the 3-turn move, you want to be throwing 3 of your fast attacks in between their moves if you can. If you can't, just throw right away. They actually end up catching, but it's on Altaria, so that's kind of weird. I'll probably go into Hakamo-o, but I actually just decide I want to get KO'd first so that my switch is still available and that I have all the priority in this matchup. They have switched out, so their timer is really messed up as long as I can get into matchups that are good for me. So I know, I guess I thought I could farm this down, but the reason I don't switch out is because I am fine losing the shield here, because I know the thing in the back, I can just start brick breaking and hoping that our back matchup can do something with all the brick breaks and defense drops. Now, it does end up being Flygon, which is an interesting choice, and Flygon's going to be taking super effective from all of this energy that we have and the Dragon Claws, so GG. First Flygon I've seen, it obviously would have been really bad for me against Alolan Marowak there. Now, Hippowdon definitely has the new move. I think it's called Sand Attack, new fast attack. So it actually gets these body slams or Weather Ball Rock super quick. It's crazy. But yeah, we have ice typing, so it is super effective. They have rock typing, which is super effective. I do move into this one pretty slow, so I'm not going to be able to get to the Shadow Bone before they are. But again, I'm doing fire fast attack damage, so I'm going to shield this and then just go for a pretty big farm. Unfortunately, and again, probably not going to be able to go for Bone Club here because it's just going to be too risky to try to do one more. I would have had to have done one more fast attack and then a Bone Club and then hope for the best. But, this probably ends up getting a shield here. Hakamo-o maybe is what I come in. Maybe not, though. I might get to another move if they play this a little too risky. No. And then Weather Ball Rock's going to be super effective here. I think I probably will come in with Hakamo-o because we do resist rock. They end up coming with Dragonite. We're already ahead on energy. It's the same amount of time for them to get to their Dragon Claw as us, but since we were up on energy, we get to throw first no matter what. And I'm just going to throw the move, stay in, and that's GG. Okay, this is kind of a situation I was talking about earlier. Wigglytuff in the lead is okay. It's a pretty neutral matchup, and you get to lower their attack, which they're trying to pressure you so much with fast attacks that really lowering that fast attack is going to be great for us. They end up throwing in a bug type here. It ends up being Galvantula. Most people nowadays using Charge-a-Bug. We're fine taking this lunge. Oh, it's a Discharge. Okay, that's fine too. Discharge, not a great move. I can still farm this down. Would have liked this against... Well, no, I wouldn't have liked this against the Wigglytuff. Okay, so they did escape our damage debuff from the Dewgong, and I'm just going to throw this to do damage. We're going to come in with Hakamo-o. If there's enough HP here and they don't switch out right away, we can go for a Brick Break, but we don't want to take too much damage from the Charms. Obviously, it would do a ton, but then again, Whiscash kind of low anyways. I do decide to throw the Brick Break. They do get in 2 Charms. That sucks. It's double super effective against us because we're fighting and Dragon. So, but I lowered the defense. That's got to be worth something. And then I have 2 shields still, which not great against the Charmers, but still we can get to Icy Wind and it would almost KO. Actually, it might have KO'd with the defense debuff. Okay, Lantern in the lead. This matchup can be a little awkward. We deal super effective charge move damage to them. They deal super effective fast and charge move damage to us if they go for the Thunderbolt. I like shielding the first one. They almost never bait, but also it's very risky for them to bait. So, but then again, I wouldn't stay in. I don't know. It's tough because I wouldn't usually stay in this matchup unless I was going to shield. So sometimes they know that and yeah. I'll probably just take the loss here. Do they throw Surf? No, they do KO us. And then we'll just come in with Hakamo-o and farm this all the way down. We don't care too much about the moves. They'll probably go for a Thunderbolt if they have the energy for it, as it does do more damage since they're only going to get 1 off, but they weren't going to make it to it. Now we have a ton of energy here in a back matchup. Abomasnow, it's not bad. It's not great either. Maybe I want to switch. Maybe I just want to Brick Break and see if I can get it all the way down. We win CMP. Do we win CMP? I actually would assume we don't. Oh, I guess we do. All right. Do I want to shield? Yes. Am I going to switch in and maybe try to snipe this? Oh, I tried to catch, but my timing was off by 1 because we CMP'd. That makes sense. I didn't think about that at the time. Talonflame. So I guess if it has Fly, it's not too bad. We definitely live. So it looks like I'm definitely going for them having Fly. I can do 3 here, I think. Or I can go 1. That's fine too. If I go 1, it means I can throw a Shadow Bone in between their next move because there's still 1 Incinerate off from the Fly. Actually, thinking about it now, great thinking. That's definitely the way to have played that. Otherwise, you beat it to the first one and then you try to go for CMP on the next one, which we don't know, or I don't know what the CMPs are with those. I assume Talonflame wins because it's a 3rd evolution, and that's what I'm basing it on. Okay, this matchup's not great. It's okay again. It's kind of like the Lantern matchup. They have the advantage, but we can throw super effective back at them. I do try to catch. They end up not throwing, so now if they end up throwing... Oh, I throw the Dragon Claw here just to, I think, skew the timer a little bit. But if they end up throwing, I probably will just shield it because Game's lagging out. Oh, I think they lagged out there. Is this the one that has the Pelipper that lags out? Oh, yeah, this person lagged out. All right, well, I guess that's the end of the video. Well, that's how Gold Battle League ends sometimes. Yeah, all right. Well, GG's to all my opponents. My last opponent obviously lagged out. But yeah, Hakamo-o, pretty good. Again, you want to get into a closing situation with even shields or even up shields if you can, and just let the brick breaks like start to snowball the game or start to snowball the end, so that once you lower the defenses, you can also end up throwing the Dragon Claws, which are pretty spammy. You get to them in 4 Dragon Tails every time. Brick Break, the energy did get increased a little bit, so you actually it takes you a little bit more to get there than it used to. So definitely don't, if you remember Brick Break timings from the previous season, you might want to look more into the Brick Break timings for this season if you haven't. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I also brought Hakamo-o to a Pokemon Play event. I tied for second, but I think I got third on tiebreakers. Yeah, so, I mean, pretty decent. I think Lurgan Rockin also used it in Utrecht. I think I'm pronouncing that terribly, but that's the Pokemon Play Regional that just happened last weekend, as far as, I think it's March the 2nd, and he got top 8, so pretty good. But the meta obviously is going to change for Pokemon Play, because this first tournament did not include, and mine as well, did not include the new Pokemon with new moves. Only the old Pokemon who had the moves already, and those moves were buffed, like Brick Break. Like I said at the beginning of the video, Hakamo already had it. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.